We don't work for money. We worked for millions of years before the invention of money. Sure, there's bills to pay. You got to pay for your rent, your food, your car. But the richest people, they keep on working. People who retire early, they find a second career, they keep on working. We're really not working for money, as the main thing at least. It's not material things that buy happiness. It's not freedom of time and location and commitment that buys happiness. It's actually commitment to meaningful work that buys happiness. We don't work for money. We work for meaning. Welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. This, to me, is one of the most important things that we can learn in our lives, and that requires a lot of work and personal work on, homework on, that's finding the right work that matters and is meaningful, because this is something we've been talking about a lot recently, and I'm sure we'll talk about a lot more because it's such a big chunk of life. Your job, you're going to work, say you work 40 hours a week, say you work 50 weeks a year, you got 2,000 hours right there, multiply that by 50 years, 100,000 hours, is that right? We're spending a lot of time working, a third of our time working, so it's important that we actually enjoy it. That's very important. And again, we do want to make enough to cover the bills. There is some correlation between money and happiness, up to the point where you have basically the basic necessities covered and a little bit of extra play money. But if you look back throughout history, and people would work for sport, they would hunt for the thrill, they would gather for fun and security and for the community and for enjoyment. And that's what happens with the richest people, is like the Zuckerbergs and the Bransons and the Cubans of the world aren't like, okay, I've got enough money, now I'm going to quit working. No, the money's a byproduct. It isn't necessarily the primary aim or the goal of these people. It's just like, okay, I have the money, I don't need to worry about money, so I can focus on my work now, right? It's about the work itself. And another important myth to expose, and I've experienced this one personally, is that, oh, you can travel anywhere you want at any time, you don't have to be anywhere, you don't have commitment to work, you're gonna have a great life, that's, just vacation mode. If you're trapped in a job you don't like, then perhaps that's a better alternative. But I'm telling you, and people find this out, once you get to travel 365, you become a digital nomad, early retiree, and I have friends who've done that, whatever you want to call it, you find out that it's fucking boring. After a year or so, it's like, okay, it feels kind of empty. All my friends are working. I'm not working. What am I doing with my life? Why don't I go back to work with my friends and do something enjoyable? So you do see people start nonprofits, or go to charity work, or go into organic farming, or go into something fun and meaningful. But you can skip all that. You don't need to make all the money to discover what make you happy. You don't need to have all the time in the world to discover that won't make you happy. You can cut straight to the chase of, early on in your life, looking for and seeking and searching for work that matters and that is meaningful to you. It should be enjoyable. There should be camaraderie. There should be some team. You should be able to feel good, physically good after doing it. So it allows you to be somewhat active, has some nice perks possibly of being outside, whatever. But the most important thing is that the mission matters, where it's like, this is really, really important. I believe strongly in this. For me, it's like food. The food system's fucked. I'm gonna work on this problem, try to improve it so we can elevate humans to a better consciousness, and I'll have an enjoyable time and eat good food along the way, right? But it could be any number of things. So the question for you is, what is super important? What do you think is super important, like a big level issue for humanity? What do you think is super important? That's also an industry or career you're interested in. Like me, I think food is so important. Good quality food is such an important, high level, broad issue, and farming is a career I'm interested in. And I moved in that direction. I mean, yours could be the same, could be totally different though. You might think like health, the health field is super all fucked up, and I'm interested in more naturopathic medicine. Or it could be human health is not good, I'm interested in physical training. Or it could be mental health is not good, I'm interested in better ways of counseling and helping people. But what do you think is so important and is a career you're interested in? And if you move in that direction rather than thinking, what has money, what has good benefits, when am I going to be able to retire? Forget that, come from the perspective of like, if you had to work forever, what's it going to be? And you might say, well, shit, I want to be a professional athlete or a professional, rock star or some. Well, you may enjoy. There's a difference between like thinking something's meaningful and just enjoying it. Because like, if you think, that can be, but explain how being a pro basketball player is something that's really meaningful, important, top level, big issue, broad issue for humanity, right? So that's an important thing. It's like you can be really, really satisfied working and fulfilled working a more mundane job that doesn't have all the glamour and is something that's achievable for you and you can start doing and it'll be satisfying and fulfilling if the broad picture is something that's important to you. So what is that? Share in the comments down below what you're into. Those who are also interested in growing food, how we can do a better job of that. Stay tuned for my book, The Food Life. It's coming relatively soon. I'm tidying it up, finishing up the last couple sections. So appreciate you, much love, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Holler at me in the comments down below. Peace out, fam.